Hey, I'm Sean from LRS Consulting, and I just finished reading a book, Outliers, The Story of Success by Malcolm Gladwell, and just wanted to kind of put some thoughts down on video and give this book a little review because I thought it was just like an incredibly fascinating book. I couldn't put it down. It was pretty incredible. The research that Malcolm Gladwell puts into all his books is just really incredible. And so anyways, this book by Malcolm Gladwell, the guy with the crazy hair, is a story about success, not from the point of view of people start from nothing and work really hard and then they become successful. He really looks at he really narrows it down into what goes into making people a success, and kind of what I took from it is that you don't just need to be the smartest person or the hardest worker. You have to have a lot of opportunities come your way, and you have to make the best out of those opportunities. And what he starts the book out with is a story about junior hockey players in Canada, playing in the Canadian Hockey League, and the Western Hockey League is who he's talking about. And this, maybe because he opened up the book with this story, I'm a hockey fan, maybe this is why I kind of enjoyed the book, because of the premise. But what he tells is a story about, you look at the roster of all these elite hockey teams and you look at their date of birth, and it seems like there's proportionately more people born January, February, March than are born in October, November, December. And why that is because the cutoff date for most hockey teams as you're growing up is January 1st. So if you're born January 1st, you get put in the same tiers and leagues as kids that were born 10, 11, 12 months later in some cases. And so when you're really young, you are probably bigger and you've had that many more months to mature. So you get put on the top teams, and then it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy because those kids get put on the top teams and they're meant to, or they are taught to see themselves as the best, and they get the best coaching, and then they get the most practice time. And when you get on those top teams, you get all that practice time, and then you end up going into these getting into the better hockey teams because you've had that much more practice time than the other people. So it's not just the skill, it's the opportunity to get all that practice time to hone that skill. Other examples he gives in the book about this opportunity and seizing opportunity to build your skill. He keeps talking about this 10,000 hours. You got to get in your 10,000 hours of practice before you become successful. He talks about Bill Gates and how lucky he was to have I think it was like a mother's league that took some money and bought a computer in the 60s for kids to work on. And it wasn't that the computer was only available to Bill Gates. It was available to a whole bunch of different people. But Bill Gates took that opportunity, went in, got this free computer time, and then a string of events, he kept getting this free computer time. And when it talks about how he was lucky to be born when he was, because when he had his 10,000 hours of practice in was about the same time when the personal computer made it big, which made it possible to have our Microsoft as we know it today. So just found this book Outliers just really fascinating about how you really need to seize your opportunities and to become really successful. And what I personally took about what I kind of struggled with for a lot of the book was, well, it seems like you have no control over what you do with your life. You're kind of destined to do whatever your opportunities and your breaks give you. But I got thinking about that some more, and how he kind of frames it is that you have to make your own opportunities sometimes, and you have to make sacrifices and changes in your life to create opportunities in order to become successful. I just look at some people that are given all the opportunities. They've always been on, say, the best hockey teams or in the best businesses and that sort of thing. They've always been handed stuff. What happens to them is they feel entitled to doing stuff, being the best, and then they stop working at it so hard. And what you find is that you don't always have to. He talks about the Nobel Prize winners in for different Nobel Prize winners, and comparing where they went to university, and if the filter of you don't have to be the smartest, obviously, to become a Nobel Prize winner. You just have to be smart enough and then seize your opportunities. Otherwise, all of the smartest people would be winning Nobel Prizes, and they'd be coming from Harvard, because Harvard has the best filter per se to judge whether somebody should be getting into great university or not. So obviously the distribution of Nobel Prize winners, not all the Nobel Prize winners come from Harvard. They come from different universities that aren't necessarily seen as the best, but they're seen as good enough to become Nobel Prize winners. So anyways, kind of a long ramble, but Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, I really enjoyed it and really took a lot out of it. You should pick up a copy.